As we grow older, we become busier, not spending enough time with our family and friends. When Kelly notices that she's been drifting from her friends, she decides to say yes for a month as her New Year's resolution. Will this yield a good result for her? We'll find out. In the opening scene of A New Year's Resolution, Kelly, who's a morning show producer, manages the broadcast of the morning show, Wake Up Milwaukee. In the next scene, Kelly goes to the Cocoa Beans, a restaurant, to get some snacks for her crew. She chats with the owner as she places her orders. When he asks if she has plans for the holiday, she informs him that she has a Christmas Eve party every year with her friends. He offers her a freshly baked pastry, which she kindly rejects before leaving the line. Meanwhile, the owner offers it to the next person, Tom, who is happy to take one. It's Tom's first time at the shop, so he is surprised, since he doesn't know what to order. While this is going on, Kelly gets her order and leaves. On behalf of the bank he works at, Tom inquires if the Cocoa Beans could cater at an event, the New Year's Plunge, sponsored by the bank. The owner likes the sound of it, and promises to get back to him after asking the staff. At the broadcast station, Kelly and her crew are holding a meeting to come up with a new segment idea. They decide to go with a recurring segment that will follow a candidate's New Year's resolution through January. A post will be made online for candidates to apply, and everyone is satisfied with the decision. Meanwhile, at work, Tom proposes a new budget plan at a meeting that will bring about higher customer satisfaction and more investments. His boss is unsure at first, but is later convinced by their proposal after Tom's colleague, Patrick, chips in. Later on, Tom offers to take Patrick out to celebrate their success, but Patrick is crowded with work and wants to finish it so that he can go to his mom's house. Tom seems to be close with Patrick's mother and decides to help him do the work. Patrick wishes Tom a Merry Christmas before leaving. Just then, Tom receives a call from his sister, Sheila, who asks him to help her pick up something, which Tom willingly agrees to do. In the next scene, Kelly stays behind as she works on their new segment story. River, her colleague, walks in to see Kelly still in the office, instead of being at home spending Christmas Eve with her family. But Kelly is fine with it, saying that she didn't want to keep her crew at the station. Kelly assures River that she will be spending Christmas Eve with her friends. They talk about how tough the year was at first, and how they overcame it, becoming the #1 show in Milwaukee. River gives Kelly the credit for making it happen, before they say their goodbyes as River leaves. In the next scene, Tom arrives at his sister's family house, and his nieces are excited to show him their wish list. Sheila, their mother, tries to dissuade them, but Tom is fine with it. Meanwhile, Kelly gets a call from her friend Jackson, who's asking if she'll be able to make it to the Christmas Eve party. She lets him know that she has to finish some editing and a list of other things, promising to be there as soon as she finishes, but Jackson understands that she'll not be able to make it. He relays the message to the rest of her friends, who are disappointed to hear that she won't be coming, even if they already expected it. Back at Sheila's house, Tom sits down to chat with Sheila, who's arranging things for Christmas the next day. They work together to wrap the gifts. On the other hand, Kelly arrives at her friend's house with a gift, but is greeted with a disappointed look from her friend AJ. She missed the party and was also not able to see her friends Lisa and Jackson. They were upset, but understand that she is a busy person, since she is the producer of a show. Kelly feels bad, since she's been missing a lot of the events planned with her friends. AJ advises her to show up more often, and to come to the New Year's party so that she can apologize to Lisa and Jackson in person. In the next scene, it's now New Year's Eve. Kelly and her friends are at a restaurant to celebrate. Kelly apologizes to her friends and promises to be better. Lisa and Jackson joke that they've been taking applications to replace her, one of the candidates having a lake house, but they accept her apology wholeheartedly. Meanwhile, Tom is also at the same restaurant, dining with Patrick and 2 other friends. Tom lets them know that he doesn't believe in New Year's resolutions and prefers saying yes to whatever life throws at him. But Patrick sees it as being passive about things. Back at Kelly's table, they all talk about their New Year's resolution, and it's Kelly's turn. She decides not to go with her usual resolution. Realizing that she said no to a lot of things in the last year, in the new year, she resolves to say yes to everything. On the other hand, Tom is trying to prove his point, and states that people pick predictable stuff as their resolution, so he's asked to guess Patrick's own, which he gets correctly. They feel he's known Patrick since college, so he's asked to guess the resolution of the people sitting at the table behind them. Kelly's table. Tom gets up and walks to their table. He introduces himself and asks if he could guess their New Year's resolution. Surprisingly, he guesses AJ, Jackson, and Lisa's resolutions correctly. They are surprised and praise his skills, warranting Patrick's disapproval. Kelly's resolution is left for him to guess, but he's unable to get it right. He finally caves in and asks what it is, and she informs him that she's going to say yes to every social invitation she gets. Tom and Patrick find her interesting, and this makes Tom believe that her resolution is the only brilliant resolution he has heard. Kelly explains why she came up with that resolution, and Tom seems to be more fascinated by her. She informs him that it'll end on her birthday, which is in February, so it'll last a month. Later on, Tom invites Kelly to a New Year party, but she rejects him, saying that she still has 32 minutes to say no. Tom understands and leaves to talk with his friends. Kelly takes a piece of tissue, scribbles something on it, and proceeds to stuff it in the pocket of Tom's coat, which is hanging on his chair. In the next scene, Kelly and her friends gather around a fire. AJ asks them to write their resolutions and watch as their intentions burn, drifting up to the sky. Jackson and Lisa don't understand the point of the activity, but Kelly encourages them, warming their hearts to the idea. Meanwhile, Tom sees the note Kelly left in his pocket. She has written her number down for him, and Tom smiles, pulling his phone out. The countdown starts. Kelly and her friends burn their resolutions as they wish each other a happy new year, clinking their wine glasses. Kelly's phone buzzes, and she sees a message from Tom, wishing her a happy new year. She smiles and keeps her phone in her pocket. Mission accomplished, but let's see what ensues. Lisa decides to invite her to the New Year's plunge the next day, which she can't reject, since it's a new year and her resolution is in effect. In the next scene, Kelly and her crew prepare for the New Year's plunge. She's informed that the marketing guy from the sponsorship is awaiting his interview, but she soon realizes that it's Tom, and walks up to him. He guesses that she had to say yes to being at the New Year's plunge. He finds out that she's the producer of the Wake Up Milwaukee show, and jokes about the surprise she left in his pocket. Kelly mentions that she hasn't given anyone her number before, and wants to know what his next move is. However, Tom doesn't want to ask her out, because he doesn't want her to have to say yes because of her New Year's resolution. She's surprised that he's willing to let a month pass by, and he suggests an alternative. She could ask him out. Cool, right? They are interrupted by Kelly's colleague, Casey, who informs them that the plunge is starting. Tom starts to ask if they could be let off, but Kelly tells him to enjoy the interview and leaves them. Kelly runs to stand with Lisa, who's also preparing to dive into the lake. A man starts the 3 commands, and they all drop the towels they have wrapped around them. Kelly is betrayed by Lisa, who wears a full-body swimsuit, after suggesting that the both of them wear a bathing suit. They run into the lake as they hear, "Go." Later on, Kelly and Lisa wrap themselves in towels, and are offered hot chocolate to warm them up. Casey checks up on Kelly, informing her that the interview went well. However, Tom had urgent business to attend to, and is no longer at the venue. But he left a message asking her to contact him for a follow-up. In the next scene, Kelly and her colleagues watch a clip of her diving in the lake, which they find funny. She tells them about her New Year's resolution, and they think it has a great story. Kelly immediately understands that they want her to be the candidate for their new segment, but she refuses. They propose several ideas, despite her refusal. Kelly would do anything for the show, and they know it. They use that to their advantage, and she agrees to be on the show. In the next scene, Kelly and AJ are seen at the set for the first segment, which is a racetrack. Kelly is feeling unsure, and AJ continues reassuring her. She adds that she spotted some signs of the bank Tom works at, suggesting that he may be present at the set. On that topic, AJ advises Kelly to ask him out, but Kelly has already written a sad ending to their story which hasn't even begun. As she's speaking, Tom comes up behind her, overhearing some of what she said. The situation is a bit awkward, and AJ gives the two of them some space. Tom will also be running. He brushes the race off as nothing serious, but Kelly has her competitive spirit on, and is ready to win the race. Just then, the announcer calls the two of them to the start line. Tom suggests buying her coffee after he wins, and she takes it as him asking her out on a coffee date, which he doesn't deny. The race starts and they run, passing through all the hurdles set in the yard. Kelly comes in first, and has a little interview afterward. In the next scene, Kelly gets a coffee that was dropped off by Tom at her office, with a little note written on a piece of tissue. She reads the note, and can't help but smile. Lisa visits Kelly and invites her to a speed dating event. Kelly can't refuse, because of her New Year's resolution. Later on, Kelly is interviewed on the show, and she talks about her resolution. Although she's scared of magicians, she says yes when asked to assist a magician. In the next scene, Tom watches Kelly's interview as he speaks on the phone with Patrick, who complains about their business. They are understaffed, despite their large budget, but Tom believes they'll be able to figure it out with the few people they have. After their gym session, Kelly and AJ talk about the interview. AJ plans to print a banner of Kelly assisting the magician for Kelly's birthday party, but she claims she isn't having a party. AJ explains that she's inviting her to the party, so she can't reject it, and Kelly is forced to agree, making AJ promise that there won't be any magicians there. AJ is enjoying Kelly's resolution working out, and points out the fact that Kelly has been missing good opportunities over the years, saying no to them because she was scared of failing. In the next scene, Kelly and Lisa are at the speed date venue when Kelly spots Tom. She tries to hide from him, but he sees her anyway. Lisa encourages her to ask him out, but Kelly is unsure about everything, including speed dating, since she's never been to one. She uses the excuse that she is there to support Lisa morally. Lisa explains the concept of speed dating to her, and wishes her luck. The speed date has started, and the bell rings. All the men get up and move to sit at a table with a different woman. Patrick sits with Kelly in this round. Kelly asks him some questions to get to know him better, but he continuously brings Tom up. She confronts him about it, and he doesn't deny it. Meanwhile, Tom tries to get information about Kelly from Lisa, but is unsuccessful. She instead asks him some questions about himself. The bell rings again, and they all change seats. Tom moves to Kelly's table. He confesses that he's disappointed to see her there when he put the ball in her court, but she points out that he's also at the event. Kelly finds out that he's at the event for the same reason as she is. She brings up her conversation with Patrick, commenting that he was convincing. Tom is pleased to hear that, and makes sure she knows that he'll never refuse her. Kelly asks him out to dinner, and the bell rings. Everyone else changes tables, except Tom, who's trying to figure out when they could meet. Kelly and Tom agree to meet on Friday, after finding out that they are both going to see a hockey game with their friends and colleagues respectively. In the next scene, Kelly, Tom, and their friend group set up at a VIP box to watch the game. She confesses to Tom that she's not a hockey fan, and finds out that he's not a fan either. This leads to some other topics, where Kelly finds out that he has 4 siblings, 3 brothers and a sister. Kelly is an only child, and Tom is low-key jealous, because he feels the life of an only child is awesome. She tells him about the new segment where she'll be attending a Chinese New Year's celebration. She invites him, admitting that it's a date when he catches on. In the next scene, Kelly is being interviewed by River on the Wake Up Milwaukee show, and one of her resolution activities is shown. They take a commercial break afterward, and Casey walks up to Kelly, informing her that he's interviewed 20 people who complain that Imperium National Bank accounts have been created under their names. She suggests he look into it, and get some intel from someone working in the bank. River mentions Tom, but Kelly doesn't want to get him involved, since they just started a relationship. In the next scene, Kelly, Lisa, AJ, and Jackson play a board game. Kelly notices that her friends are sharing knowing looks when she gets a card that reads, "Move to a new city." They bring up her past plan to move to a new city, which she canceled a year ago. They encourage her to try new things, including making that move she canceled. Kelly's dream has been to be an award-winning producer, and they all believe that she can achieve that, no matter where she is. She admits that she was scared of failure the year before, but is now ready to be open to opportunities. The next day, Kelly's superior praises her and River for the good reviews and high ratings the show is racking up. River gives all the credit to Kelly, but Kelly believes that the team made it happen. They start talking about what Casey is working on, the case where 20 people have complained that bank accounts and credit cards had been opened under their names without permission. Kelly and River believe that it has to do with incentives for the sales team. Their boss agrees that it's a great story, but adds that it isn't ready to be told. Kelly thinks they need concrete evidence to support their belief in the victim's claims. If their suspicions are true, they'll need a whistleblower to help them, or they won't be able to run the story. When their boss leaves, River softly edges Kelly on, but Kelly refuses to make Tom a whistleblower. The affection Kelly has for Tom is now clear to River, who mentions that Kelly would not have thought twice about it the year before. Kelly can't deny it, and sits in silence as she watches River leave the room. She picks up her phone and calls Tom, asking that they meet. He informs her that he's at a chili cook-off and invites her to attend. At the cook-off venue, Tom and Patrick are organizing the event when Kelly arrives. He greets her with a warm hug. Meanwhile, Tom swarmed with work and is unable to pay attention. She offers to help them with things, which he turns down at first, but later agrees when she insists. After the event, Tom offers Kelly a drink and thanks her for helping them out. He's been planning the event and felt he could do it all, but was short on help, which was why she met them in that situation. Asking what she wants to talk about, Kelly tells him about the case Casey is working on. Tom doesn't want to believe that his colleagues would do something like that. Kelly thinks that it'll be hard for them to be together when the case is broadcasted, but Tom is not willing to throw what they have away, and convinces her to stay. He promises to take the blame if what she fears comes to pass. She agrees on the condition that they take things slow till then. Despite the situation, Tom feels an urge to kiss her, and asks if it'll be alright. Kelly smiles and bids him goodnight as she gets up to leave. In the next scene, Kelly wraps up the interview at the Chinese New Year's celebration. Just then, Tom arrives at the set. He jokes about her not wanting to share the limelight with him, and commends her effort. Kelly prefers being behind the camera and thinks it suits her, but Tom thinks otherwise. She, however, confesses that she loves being in front of an audience, since she did open mic storytelling in college. Tom informs her that he's planning an event with Story Slam, a podcast station, and invites her to perform there, but she refuses since her resolution will be over by then. They hold hands as they walk towards a market to get some food. Later on, Kelly and Tom sit on a bench, eating as they get to know each other more. They talk about their dreams. Kelly's dream is to become an award-winning producer, and Tom's dream is to move to Chicago. Afterward, Kelly and Tom take a stroll as they try to pick a day for their next date. He's busy throughout the week, but doesn't want to wait a week to see her. Tom decides to pick her up on Saturday, on his way back from his niece's party, and then head to a gala he's organized. Kelly doesn't want to add to his stress, but he doesn't see it as stress, because she's worth making time for. She gladly accepts, which makes Tom happy. The mood is set, and a kiss seems to be inevitable, but Kelly bids him goodbye instead. In the next scene, Kelly is working on her performance for Story Slam. Then she gets a call from Tom, who asks her to come with him to his niece's birthday and the gala, making sure to let her know that she has freedom of choice. She agrees to go with him. At Sheila's house, Tom's nieces run out to hug him. She warmly welcomes Kelly and leads her inside to introduce her to the others at the house. Tom introduces her to his nieces before Kelly is dragged away to help Sheila with the cake. Sheila lets Kelly know that Tom doesn't talk to them about his life, but bringing her to the birthday party means that he likes her. This makes Kelly smile as she joins them to sing the birthday song. Afterward, Tom takes Kelly to a coffee shop where they play games. After a game of checkers, Tom places a ban on work talk since they're supposed to be relaxing, and Kelly agrees to abide by it. She asks why he didn't move to Chicago, and he suggests that they talk about it on their 4th date, but Kelly's smart. She counts his niece's birthday as a date, which would mean that they are now on their 4th date, and this also means that he now has to answer the question. He confesses that he was scared to leave his family, and also needs to know that there's a goal he needs to achieve. Kelly finds that they are similar, in the sense that they don't know what they want. When Tom asks what she wants, she can't seem to find a definitive answer. She changes the topic by announcing that they need to leave soon. In the next scene, Tom waits for Kelly to finish getting dressed. She brings up the case, stating that they've gathered some information that the sales team is behind it. Kelly lets him know that they need someone on the inside to confirm, and he offers to take the sales team out for drinks, like he always does. She implores him not to inform anyone about it, and they have to trust each other. Kelly comes out of the room, and Tom thinks she looks breathtaking, even though her hair is in a mess. At the gala, Kelly receives an email from Casey concerning the Imperium Bank case. She ignores it and continues conversing with people, before Tom asks her to dance with him. He appreciates her for spending time with him and making her smile. Kelly spots an Imperium Bank sign, and her smile fades away, as it is a reminder of what will come between them. But Tom thinks what matters is what she focuses on. He gives her a list of things she could focus on, and Kelly makes some additions to the list as well. There's a longing in their gaze, and they finally kiss. In the next scene, Tom takes 2 guys from the sales team for a drink. One of the guys, whose name is Paul, almost slips up, but is quickly reprimanded by the other one, Al. Tom suggests planning an event to bring in more people, but is told that it's not about the people, but about the products. They finally let up the secret, and Tom is surprised. Later on, Patrick and Tom express their surprise upon finding out what the sales team is up to. Patrick wants Tom to tell Glenn, their boss, but Tom has promised not to say anything to anyone. This makes Patrick worried that Tom might lose his job if he doesn't tell Glenn. But Tom is adamant, knowing that she trusted him with her story. Patrick convinces him that she'll still have a story, and by telling Glenn, they'll be able to preserve the bank's reputation. In the next scene, Tom arrives at Kelly's Gatsby-themed birthday party, holding a gift. He soon spots Kelly. He compliments her as he gives her the gift he brought. It's the original of a book she loves. She appreciates it, kissing him on the cheek. AJ makes a toast to Kelly on her 30th birthday. Lisa wants to know how she feels, now that the resolution is over. Kelly mentions feeling like a character in The Great Gatsby, leaving them all speechless. She is in high spirits, and invites them to the dance floor just as Tom is about to say something. Jackson advises Tom to join them in dancing, but Tom is not feeling up to it. He soon changes his mind when he looks at Kelly, who Jackson says he's never seen that happy. The next day, Tom visits Kelly at her house to talk to her about the case. Just then, she gets a call from Casey, who informs her that all the bank accounts have been closed. When the call ends, she informs Tom of what Casey told her, and gives him the benefit of the doubt. Tom explains that he thought there might be a way to fix it and still give her a story to run with. Kelly is upset that he didn't tell her anything, and doesn't want them to continue meeting. In the next scene, Glenn thanks Tom for his loyalty, and for saving the bank from public shame. Tom is curious as to the next steps that will be taken to discipline the wrongdoers, but he is disappointed to know that the issue was taken lightly, and there will be no investigation into the case. At the broadcasting station, Tom meets with Kelly to let her know that he resigned from his job, and is willing to go on TV to expose the truth. She's hesitant, but he's sure of it, and she agrees. Tom does the interview with River on the Wake Up Milwaukee show, and it goes viral. A cause for celebration between Kelly and her team. In the next scene, we see Kelly pacing around anxiously. Her friends arrive at the house, and she informs them that Tom sent some flowers and board games. She needs to talk to them, but they already discussed it without her. They all agree that she should give Tom a second chance, but that's not what she wants to talk about. She has gotten a call from Good Morning Chicago, and is moving there. They are happy for her, and think that things between her and Tom can still work out, since Chicago is just 2 hours away. The next day, Kelly performs at the Story Slam, talking about herself and her love life with a certain Tobias. After her performance, Tom takes the stage and introduces himself as Tobias. He talks about how she made him real by making him check in with his gut feelings, before announcing that he has decided to follow his dreams and move to Chicago. Tom makes it clear that he didn't know she was moving there when he made the decision. Kelly walks up to the stage and kisses him as her friends watch. They are happy that she's happy, and proud that she's come this far. Eventually, her saying yes brought her happiness ever after.